Welcome back. Now that you have a sending address, you are now ready to begin sending broadcast emails. So you're going to go into your broadcast email setting. You're then going to click New Broadcast. You're then going to select your sending address. You'll then determine who is going to send your email address. And so you'll see here that in general, you can send one email to all subscribers. What you can also do is you can click Add Filter. You can say then that you want to add individuals to specific tags, sequences, forms, or products. We're going to add an individual to a specific tag. We're now going to choose that tag, and we're going to click Add Filter. So now what we're doing is we're making sure that the only individuals that are going to receive the broadcast are going to be those for whom we want to see it. We're now going to click Next Step. We're now going to give our email a subject. And we're going to write the information in that we want to have inside of our email. Now we do have a WYSIWYG editor. So wherever we have our content, we can add in any of the effects that we want to have inside of our email. We can also insert images, we can insert files, we can insert buttons, and we can insert a divider or even an HTML block. If we need to add in a personalization code, we can do that. And for example, if we want to make sure that we want the individual's first name, we can have that individual receive the email as their first name. What we're going to do right now is we're going to stop the video here. And in the next video, we're going to go over an element of personalization unique to ConvertKit. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, one of the things that we can have with ConvertKit is that we can personalize individual lines for individual emails. For example, if we were to come to this line and we were to click this button, we can then add in a certain level of personalization. So what we can do here is to personalize an email based on subscriber tags. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click Subscriber Tags. And we're going to see a level of code here in this area. Now we want to make sure that we have the subscriber tag exactly how it is inside of our ConvertKit system. Now we basically have filled in this personalization by saying, if the individual receiving the email has this tag, then we want them to see this string of text. Otherwise, if they don't have the tag, we want them to say this string of text. And it is another level of personalization for our email. What we're now going to do is we're going to click Browser. And you'll see here that when we do the preview, you'll notice then that we have our string of text for the individual that has the tag. What we're now going to do is click Save, and we're now going to click Next Step. Now that our email is ready, we can either schedule the email for a specific time, or we can send it immediately. We can choose to save this draft. If we want to come back to this later, we'll have our broadcast draft ready to be sent. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. In this video, we're going to start the process of creating sequences. And we're going to go to the link that says Sequences. What we're then going to do is click New Sequence. We're going to give that sequence a name. We're then going to click Create Sequence. The first thing you're going to notice is that you have sample content inside of the first email. And so basically what you're going to do is you're going to write out the sequence and the emails that you want to be inside of that sequence. Once you have all of the emails that will be inside of your sequence or series, you're then going to start to edit the elements of each one of those emails. So for example, you're going to determine when you want the email to be sent. And what you can do inside of a sequence, of course, is the very first email, you can make it so that it's sent immediately. You can also make it so that there is a filter for this email. So for example, we can add in a specific sequence for this email. We can select an individual based on forms, sequences, tags, or products. And just as we did with the broadcast email, we can go inside of the WYSIWYG editor. We can add in certain context which we can personalize. And we can personalize based on the subscribers' tags. And you'll see that we have in here our sequence where we can put our content in according to the subscriber tag. Once we have each email, what we're going to do is we'll then want to preview the email. And once it's ready, you'll close it out. And what you can then do when the email is ready, you can change the status of that email and make it so that it is published or saved. Then your first email will be ready to go. You'll then want to start working on the second email in the series. Now by default, that email goes out 1 day after the first email has been sent. Now ConvertKit requires that we save all the emails before we can start previewing our other emails. And basically, once we've completed our edits, we can set the email to be published. And we're going to do that for the other 2 emails. Once we do that, we'll then click Save. Now what we're going to do here is stop the video, and we're going to pick it up from the settings of the sequence. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now once you have the series of emails and you have them in your left side panel of your sequence, what you're going to do is you're going to go then to your settings. And what you're going to do is you're going to set up first your sending email. You're then going to set up the time of day. Now what we're going to do is leave this in the default setting so that it will be determined by the time of day when it has been sent in. Obviously though, what you can do is you can set it so that these emails are going to go out at a particular time every single day. Now you can determine a specific email template. You can use a text-only template, the classic or modern template. What you can also do is you can exclude certain subscribers from the sequence. And so for example, one of the things we can do with the sequence is that we can determine that the individuals that are going to receive these broadcast emails, that they can be excluded with specific tags. They can also be excluded from specific sequences. They can also be excluded by specific forms. And basically what you have is you have the ability to make sure that the only individuals that are going to be getting automated emails in a sequence are going to be the individuals that you want to receive the email. What you can also do with this sequence is you can duplicate the sequence or clone it so that you can reproduce it for another set of subscribers. You can also delete the entire sequence by going inside of this area. What we're going to do right now is we're going to click Update Sequence. And once we do that, we're then ready to save our entire sequence. And finally, we can test the email by having it sent to our sending address. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, ConvertKit has integrations with certain cloud-based services. And there are 2 ways to find those services. One of the ways you can find them is by going to your Automations tab and then going to this link that says Integrations. You'll see those integrations here in this screen. Another way to see the integrations is to go and do a web search. And if you go to ConvertKit/integrations, you'll be able to see certain integrations that will work with ConvertKit, and you can search for them by their function. You can also search for them by name using the search box. For example, if you're looking for integrations for e-commerce, you can click this link that says e-commerce. You'll be able to find the integrations to work with here in this area. For example, if you were to go to fulfillment, you'll see here that there's going to be an integration here for Wishlist Member, which is a WordPress plugin. Now going back to the Automations tab, one of the things you're going to note is that all of the integrations are not present on this page. So if you want a true reflection of the automations, you will need to go to convertkit.com/integrations. Now you do want to be signed in, and signing in from this page will not necessarily take you through the integration. In this case, you're actually going to come back to your automations area. You're going to click on Teachable. What you're going to do is you're then going to write in your Teachable site domain and then click Next. Once you're connected successfully, you'll then click Next. You'll then need to take this ConvertKit URL. You'll need to paste it into your webhook settings for your Teachable site. Now this is going to be a case where you're going to need to upgrade your plan with Teachable in order to use the webhook inside of ConvertKit. And so every integration is going to work slightly different. Teachable works only with the advanced plan. However, some will work directly with the basic version. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now ConvertKit also integrates directly with the Wishlist Member plugin. So if we click the Wishlist Member button inside of the Automations area, inside of the Integrations area, we're going to come to this page. And what we're basically doing is having an individual added to a Wishlist Member level and then added to a ConvertKit list. Now wherever you have the Wishlist Member plugin, you're also going to want to make sure that you have the ConvertKit plugin installed. If you don't have the plugin installed, you're going to need to add new plugin. You're going to need to type in the keyword ConvertKit. And you're then going to need to install and activate the ConvertKit plugin. You're then going to need to come inside of your Wishlist Member plugin. You'll then go to the Setup area. Once you get to the Setup area, what you're going to do is to go to your Integrations tab. You're then going to go to the Email Providers tab. You'll then see a ConvertKit connection button. You'll then click that button. What you'll then need to do is to click the Toggle button. What you'll then need to do is to configure your settings. You'll then need to add in your API secret from ConvertKit. You'll come back to the API secret. You'll click Show. You'll copy your API secret. You'll then head back to Wishlist Member. What you'll then do is to paste in your API secret. You'll then click Save and Close. Your ConvertKit will then be connected to your Wishlist Member installation. You'll then be able to see your mailing lists. And what you can basically do then is have individuals added from a level to ConvertKit. And so what you'll do here is you'll choose the list. You'll then click Save and Close. And then all of the individuals that become part of this level in Wishlist Member will then be added automatically to one of our lists in ConvertKit. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. ConvertKit also connects with page building systems, such as Lead Pages, as well as OptimizePress, the WordPress-based page building system. And to connect, you're going to go into your integrations area. You're going to click on the integration that you want to make. Now you'll see that there is no direct integration by clicking a button. So what you'll need to do is to come inside of OptimizePress. You'll then need to go to your email marketing services. You'll then want to click on ConvertKit. What you'll need then is the API key from ConvertKit. You want to come back to your account settings, grab the API key, copy it, and head back to OptimizePress. You'll then want to place the API key. You'll then click Save Settings. Now once you've done that and you are setting up your page, what you're going to need to do is to go inside of your opt-in page. What you're going to do inside of the opt-in box is you're going to choose your integration. And you're going to choose ConvertKit. And ConvertKit will automatically populate with the list that you have inside of ConvertKit. You'll then choose the list that you want to use, and then you'll do the rest of the process inside of OptimizePress as you normally would. So basically what we've done is we have integrated our ConvertKit lists into our OptimizePress system. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to look at automations. And what we're going to do is to go to the Automations tab. And what you're going to see here is you're going to have a button that says New Automation. Now we can look first at two directions. What we can do first is we can look at the templates. So we're going to click Browse Templates. And what you're going to see are automation recipes, or ways that you can create automations with the steps already pre-done for you. If you're to do something simple, like an evergreen newsletter, you can click Use Template. The automation will then copy, and you'll then have the automation on your desktop. Now it could be that there are steps in that you don't want to have as part of your automation. And so if that's the case, we'll edit the step and we'll delete this event. You'll see then that there are still only two events. We can go inside of another event, we can delete it. We now have one event. So now that we have one form, what we're going to do is we're going to change this to a form that we've already created. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have the individual added to this form. We're going to update the event. We're then going to look at this form. And you'll see here that this is a landing page that we have already created. What we're going to do now is we're going to choose what action is going to happen. So we're going to click this button. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have the individual added to a specific email sequence. We're going to choose the sequence. We're going to click Add Action. So now we have the individual added to a specific sequence. So we then want to do is to make sure then that we no longer need this evergreen newsletter because we have the individual getting emails that we have already set up in advance. So we can now delete the sequence, and now whenever someone joins this form, they're going to be added to a specific sequence that we have already created. We now have the end of the automation. Basically now what we want to do then is we want to turn on the automation, which we can do by clicking on this button to turn on the automation. And so now when the individual signs up through this landing page, they're then going to be added to a specific sequence. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now what we're going to do is we're going to edit one of our existing automations, and you'll see here that we have automations available. However, there are no steps involved. So what we're going to do is we're going to now click inside of this automation. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click Create Automation. Now we're going to start with the prompt from ConvertKit. And so we're going to assume here is that an individual joins a specific form that we've created. And so we're going to choose the form. We're then going to click Add the Event. So now we have the form that the individual has joined. Now when that individual signs up through this specific form, we're then going to choose a specific action. What we're going to do then is we're going to add the individual to a specific tag. And we're going to find the tag, and it's going to be a tag that we have created previously. We're then going to click Add Action. So now when an individual signs up with a specific form, we're going to have this individual added to a specific list. So what we've done is we've said now that when an individual comes through a form, we're going to have them added to a specific tag. And so what we're now going to do is we're going to set a specific condition and then take some action based on that condition. So we're going to click this condition. So we're going to state now that if this individual who has been tagged has another tag, let's assume then that we want to have an individual that came over from a specific list. Maybe they have this also specific tag. And we're going to add this condition. Who came through the form, had this tag added, also has the second tag. We're then going to send them to a specific email sequence. And we're going to add that sequence and click Add. If the individual does not have this tag, then what we're going to do is we're going to add them to a different email sequence. And so basically by using forms, landing pages, tags, and conditions, we can then direct individuals to the place where we want them to be inside of our email system. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. In conclusion, all of your broadcast emails will default to all of your subscribers. And the way to segment or separate them is to use the tools inside of ConvertKit. ConvertKit allows you to filter all of your subscribers within segments, cold subscribers, distance, subscription dates. You can also then filter those subscribers. You can choose a specific filter. And those filters can be based on forms, tags, sequences, and products. The sequences you set up will be based on individuals that may join a specific form or are tagged in a specific way. Now, as you can see in this automation, an individual joins a form, they are tagged, and then they are then added to a specific email sequence which we designate at the very beginning. So to set up a traditional autoresponder, what you'll need to do is you'll need to set up a sequence, and that sequence can be a series of emails that you have written ahead of time. But you'll notice that individuals are not automatically added to that sequence. You will need to start that process with some kind of automation based on the way that they come inside of your list. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you either in another video or in another course.